Thank you for staying with us. Time now for us to get into the papers that we have. And it's a full house this morning. Introducing, right next to me, Mapito CBD.
Good morning.
Always beaming, looking fantabulous.
Thank you.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm well. How about you?
I'm good. I'm the cheese in between two brown slices.
You really want to put out that analogy?
Yeah. So I'm the cheese. Yeah.
And we're the what? Slices of bread.
Yeah, the brown slices of
Okay,
bread.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't follow Western. I would have said he would be a slice of ham, but...
No, but it's good to have a cheese.
But let me introduce you first.
Oh, that do I need an introduction? I don't need it.
Celebrities high town. You don't need to be told.
I'm here.
Samuel Kojo
Let me
Braves.
start introducing myself.
That's right. Do it.
Go ahead.
Do it.
So my name is Samuel Kojo Braves.
That's right.
I'm that a hunter boy here.
That's right.
Soon to be a doctor.
That's right.
In future, so I'll be
Please,
called Dr.
which one of the doctors? Is it a...
PhD.
Okay, pull him down.
No, proper PhD.
Okay.
In climate change and agriculture.
Hey.
Yeah, that's what it is. And then I'm the first son of my mother, so yeah.
Hey, it's fine.
Which one else?
Since you speak of a Greg, I'll not
How
give
many wives do you
details.
have?
I have one.
Okay.
But the thing is that you see, you are unofficially the housewife.
Of course, of course. And I.
Did you just say of course?
Yeah,
Why?
definitely.
I am here.
Oh no, but this one is my babe. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See the action.
Oh.
Ah.
Shromanubi. Some of them. Manubi. Fear them. Masem dina kabitrim. He will take you to a hunter.
I want to go there.
And I'm not saying it's a way, but when he takes you there, I know a few things. This gentleman here. Okay, no problem.
So I always tell him that when he speaks, he's Fanti. Chale, I really feel like Fanti is the sexiest language in Ghana. Like Chale, when he starts speaking, and it's Brace!
Tibeka Fanti. Meshia Fanti.
And he's got some accents, B.
So it's the Fanti he used to get you.
Oh, yeah.
Charlie, nah, it's okay. We'll do that after.
But you know, I know you own some equipment B that is used for different kinds of...
I
We beg you.
own nothing.
We beg you.
I own nothing.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the papers. This morning I have the Daily Graphic, the Daily Statesman. What do you have?
I have the Daily Guide. I have the Publisher, Brace.
I have the Ghanaian Times and the Finder.
Okay.
But Ben, before we go into the papers, I have an issue I would want to bring to your attention and
right.
the attention of. And there was a story that was carried in the New Crusading Guide yesterday.
Right.
It's Chinese hijack gold mine at Wasachempim against local content law. And it's something that I really hope the ministry and government will avert their mind to. That is a company in the Wasa area, it's Golden Star Resources. The paper says that they are gathering information that a Chinese company has bought that company. Okay. But the law also says that you need to have some local content in there. Now, according to information, the company is replacing even positions that were held by Ghanaians with Chinese. Oh, wow. Again, local companies that were like supplying materials to, so like contractors, they are now being replaced. So the company is importing materials directly from China, and they feel that it's against the law. It doesn't help in the country generating the needed revenue, because if I am a company supplying to Golden Star Resources, I'll definitely be paying taxes. Yeah. If I lose this business, it means that Ghana will not be getting the taxes that I will be contributing to the economy. So it's something that the government needs to avert its mind to. Yeah. The issue is, the information that we've gathered, it's not a very pretty one. Once the Chinese have started bringing in people to replace Ghanaians, we should go into it and look at how we can solve it, because at the end, we are looking at Ghanaians getting the requisite experience so that they can, because the law even says that Ghanaians need to be trained so that they can replace the expatriate, It's in the mining and the oil industry train locals so that they can become expert in the industry. But if this is happening, then the government needs to.
Well, when I hear of these instances, it just rubs my craw. And the point is, this shouldn't even happen.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. When you go to other jurisdictions, I just don't get it. You have the law. The law says what it does. Yet people can get away because there's no supervision. People can get away with murder. And yesterday I heard someone, I just have to be sure, because on the back of the Land and Natural Resources Minister inviting his 5 colleague ministers, the regional ministers, I think Eastern, Western, North, Ashanti, and all of that. He then starts talking about, sometimes, I don't know whether it was the Lands and Natural Resources Minister, so let me stay.
It was the Lands and Natural Resources.
But then he makes mention of the fact, this point, I just have to be sure.
Okay.
He makes the point that they try and that in some instances, I think it was the Major General that was spoken to. Sometimes they apprehend locals and it's easy to get them, and then the excavators, if they can't be moved, they are burnt, and then others are moved away. But that usually with the Chinese, they are very slippery. They are very creepy, so to speak, and they are able to make their way out. And I'm thinking, aren't they human beings like the Ghanaians you are able to apprehend? How smooth are they in this criminality, So I don't know. It's almost as though we were selective with the application of the law. And in many ways, I feel we are. Because look, there are political elements today in Galamsey that we are talking about.
Oh, exactly.
Why are they not being dealt with?
Exactly.
So if you come and tell me I'll put my presidency on the line, but you have the heads of political activists within your party that should be on the chopping block and they are not there, let's get into the paper.
Interesting. So the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources should look into this Wassa Mines thing.
Yeah.
So that we can put, all matters to rest. We can build our country peacefully.
Let's get into
And
the
build
papers.
our country peacefully. Let's go to the
Daily
Daily
Guide.
Guide. And the big story there is that Chinese slashes workers' throat over salary. Very interesting story there. And we also have lead Galamsey fight. Government charges MMDCEs. We also have Ghana's internet costly, yet the quality is the worst. That is a survey. But let's go to that big story. Chinese slashes workers' throat over salary. A concrete mixing machine operator, Isaac Watson, popularly known as Boat, had his throat slashed with a sharp knife, allegedly by a Chinese employer when he, Boat, was asking for his monthly salary. Now, the Chinese national owns a construction company that is near Sekondi, and one of the workers who confirmed the incident said it happened at about 1:30 p.m. on Wednesday. He pointed out about 80 workers of this company were demanding their September salary when the unfortunate incident happened. So, comes to what you were talking about, how Ghanaians are being exploited, and now you get this unfortunate situation, because even when they're talking about the salary that they're getting, he explained that the workers are marked 2 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos per hour daily, and are paid on the 28th day of every month. So if you...
So there's 50 pesos per hour.
Per hour.
What?
Can you imagine? And you can imagine the type of work that goes into this and what they do. So I think it's terrible and something
But I can tell you, the Labour Office will be doing less about this. Look, unfortunately, this is a country where people who are supposed to be protecting the citizenry are the ones aiding and abetting foreigners to
Exactly so.
These things on Ghanaians. Look, I've been in a meeting at one ceramic company owned by Chinese. And in this meeting, the consultant, labor consultant to the company, was the labor officer for the Western region. So the one who is supposed to ensure that the company is doing the right things for the workers is now the one who is consulting for this company. So what then will be the solution here? Because if the company is perpetrating A, and I have to ensure that the company is doing B, I am the same consultant to this company. So what am I going to do?
What am I going to do? Going to look out for himself and
So it's very, very interesting. Look at this one, 2 cedis 50 pesos per hour. How?
And this gentleman is just trying to, feed his kids, pay for his rent, and unfortunately, his throat was slashed, asking for his salary, and it's a meager salary at that. But still, let's talk about Galamsey. Lead Galamsey fights, and that's the government charging.
Can we just stay briefly on that bit, because I feel there is some impunity that is not creeping; it has fully crept into the system.
Yeah.
And especially I have friends who are Chinese. I know people from across the world who are Chinese. But in Ghana, with the scope, even when it comes to Galamsey and their activities, they are the biggest numbers in our country. The impunity with which some of them act, it's almost as though they were more Ghanaian than we were. And that impunity is hinged on our political leaders and the scope they've given them. Look, some of our political leaders have been bought. It's hinged on our traditional leaders and some of the scope they've given them. I'm talking about our chiefs. They can't say they are not aware. And so it's fueled that impunity. They feel we own the system. To the point where you can do this.
Yeah. Yesterday evening, I learned that the police have arrested this person in question. Let's see where it gets to. But I agree with your point that our leadership, from all angles, political, traditional, have really emboldened these people to be doing the things they do. They feel that we own the system because, look, there are politicians and traditional leaders who have brought in some of these Chinese to be mining on their behalf. You know that per the law, there's a small-scale mining is the preserve of Ghanaians.
Yeah.
So even if you're a Nigerian, you cannot participate.
Yeah.
So how are these Chinese in the small-scale mining business? They are representing Ghanaians. So I go for a concession and I bring in Chinhua to be the one who's mining, even though my name is so. On papers, it is Samuel Brace, but in actual fact, it is Chinhua who's mining. And so Chinhua feels that I can do anything because, look, Kojo Brace is maybe a big-time politician and can do anything on my behalf. So it's a very, very murky situation, really.
It's a very, very murky situation. Still on Galamsey, lead Galamsey fights, and that's the government charging the MMDCEs. And he said that despite the numerous challenges, government has resolved that it will continue the fights to bring sanity to the small-scale mining industry. And so the minister expressed satisfaction with the work done by the ministry. He also said that military has been able to clear the site of illegal miners, demolished their infrastructure and brought the operations to a halt, adding that the team arrested some illegal miners and seized excavators and other mining equipment. So that's what government is saying, asking that MNDCs lead the charge in fighting Galamsey.
In as much as I want to applaud the Lands Minister, Samuel Abujinapo, and his deputies for what they are doing, I also feel that we've done one thing too many. For example, this whole security people running after the Galamsey to arrest them and burn equipment. I think this is what we've done since we started. If we want to go back since 2017 till today, it's been security personnel running after Galamseyers, burning equipment and all of that. What has changed?
Yeah.
We need to, do that analysis to find out, has anything changed with our strategy?
Recently, we're being told about how much has been pumped into, all of this fight. And I ask myself, of the millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions that have been pumped into it, what have we got back on the back of that? Where is the value for money?
So that's where I come to the point that if we leave this fight to the government as we see it. Government is all of us, we're all part of it.
Yeah.
But we see the people in power as the government.
Yeah.
Now, if we leave this fight to them alone, we'll never win.
At all.
The reason we will never win is that some of them are complicit in this.
That is one point, but I just have to make this point quickly. Why some people can't even do anything is that in your communities, you want to do something, you blow the whistle, you end up triggering the same political system, the same security system, and they come after you. So in the end, you don't even want to go there because guess what? The system has been shaped such that you do it and next thing you know, bullets are flying and you're being targeted.
Yeah.
So my point is that the reason I'm saying we shouldn't leave it to them alone, you see, small-scale mining, or Galamsey, is an industry that feeds a lot of people. Now, if you go to Chinchinikrom, it's just an example I'm making.
Yeah.
The people who sell food rely on this Galamsey. The chief relies on it. The person who is into hotelier relies on the industry. So if we don't get all of these people's buying in what we are trying to do, would send military there 100,000 times. It would never solve anything. Now, we need to let them understand that our water bodies are dying at the expense of the money we are making today. And therefore, you can make money today, but tomorrow you use the same money to heal your illnesses as a result of Galamsey. You know, people are getting kidney-related diseases, a lot of it because of what's happening now. So we need to get these people to understand that, look, we can get the money today, but the money will be nothing tomorrow. We cannot allow the politicians alone to be doing this. Let's bring in the chiefs, let's bring on board. You know, all of us should own this. Ghanaians, we should own this as a fight for our future. Else, they will send in the military men. Nothing will change. Nothing will change.
Let me take one more last story from the Daily Guide. Now, if you're on Twitter, you know that Kiddy was in the spotlight the last 3 days. And he was in the spotlight. So this article says the internet never forgets the sugar daddy's spectacle. So Kiddy was in the spotlight. Some, what they call on Twitter, agenda boys, took some of his tweets from like 2013 to 2014, when he was a very young kid, we should add. And
when he was a kiddie.
When he was a kiddie, yeah. So when he was still a young chap, you know, who didn't know anything, so he was insulting the former president John Mahama. He was insulting quite a lot of people. So these agenda boys brought up these tweets, and now Kiddy was in the spotlight. People were firing him that we should boycott his music and all of that. And he has now come to apologize that, you know what, I was still young, I didn't know A, B, and C, but I'm a better person. I think we need to. It's just a friendly reminder that whatever you post on social media or whatever you tweet, Facebook, whatever, the internet never forgets. Yeah, because you'd see nowadays that these young kids on social media will be insulting the president anyhow, you know, insulting, and which I understand, and I'm not, you know, saying that it's a good thing, but you must be careful in what you say, because tomorrow you don't know where you might be. You might be trying to president, and then your tweets are brought up, and then it ends up in a...
The simple bits, don't even go too far about this. You don't have to be prominent. A lot of people are putting content on social media that they forget. You're going for a job. I'm telling you, lots of people are losing jobs because when they check your social profile, when they look at you on social media and the things you post, they don't think this is someone who would want in our company.
Or who would represent our company.
You get it?
Well,
People are posting porn on social media. They're posting all kinds of things. And you think that, you know, no one is watching. The HR gets to know you. They go, they check you up. People are so unaware, but it's just part of the problem. But
if you're watching these TikToks, if you're watching these TikToks, you'll see that girls are posting their breasts, their bums and whatnot, which is really, really unfortunate. And another unfortunate part is that there are people who are actually consuming that content. So there's actually a market for that content.
There is.
So we also need to deal with that market. Or, you know,
On the BBC recently, there was a story about women who weren't even aware. Pictures they had posted on social media and stuff. And others would pick their pictures, put them, some videos secretly filmed, put them on certain sites and be raking, you know, money out of it when they weren't even aware. But on the bit about Kiddy criticizing John Dramani Mahama, again, I have a problem with some of these rationalizations. Look, if I criticized John Mahama for some of the things that he did. If Kiddy criticized the former president, then, because he felt things were going ill, and today, I mean, maybe he's not criticizing the current president, but you think he should. It's a matter of opinion. It's just like Akufo-Addo being booed. Like I said, I wouldn't do it, but if someone does it, it's the person's constitutional right. They have freedom of expression. Yes, you can talk about our cultural norms, mores and values and all of that, but is there any law barring them from doing that? No. So I don't get this bit about if he spoke certain things about the former president and they were correct.
But
I don't know.
It's not about
we have this system, avuncular system, where you can't say anything about leadership. You can't touch this. You talk about the judiciary. Oh, you can criticize us, but not like this. You talk about the executive. Oh, you're being disrespectful. You talk about the legislature and you're Charlie.
You see, the thing is, it's not about it being correct, whether former President Mahama was doing A, B, and C. It's about how he said it. You get
I mean, we can look at that.
But we should also
the fundamental bit about criticizing or criticism shouldn't be a problem.
Definitely not. Brace, what do you have?
Well, the Ghanaian Times is still talking about who defeat Galamsey. Lance Minister vows as he saw.
I nearly said in our dreams.
His support. Say again.
I nearly said in our dreams. Oh, I said it.
Oh, really? This guy.
Let me break it down for you.
Probably the approach.
Let me break it down for you. We are simply not serious about the fight against Galamsey. If we maintain the way we are fighting it now, we will not get anywhere. Nowhere. I said it.
I must say that I was in a meeting with, there were some selected press guys who met the minister.
Okay.
To talk about, how we can win the fight. And you see, from where I'm coming from, I have an experience of Galamsey.
Yeah.
And I made it clear to them how the reasons we are not winning this fight.
Okay.
I pray they listen and then do something about it. We need to change the strategy. We've been on this strategy from 2017 at least.
Yeah.
We've never been too successful. Where are the drones?
It's not that we've not been successful about this issue.
Okay. I mean, the first period, when there was a moratorium, there was a little.
No, but that one, no one was, then people were sneaking and doing it. But then we came through with the idea of community mining and the rest. Charlie, the value is the same.
So we need to watch it. But in the Ghanaian Times, there's this story. Of course, because I'm affected, I want to do it.
Okay.
Now, PRC assures safe, reliable service delivery. The Public Utilities Regulatory Commission has reaffirmed its commitment to ensuring the delivery of safe and reliable utility provision to customers, to consumers. This follows challenges experienced in vending by consumers on eCash and PNS metering system of the Electricity Company of Ghana.
Yeah.
This was contained in a statement issued and signed by the Executive Secretary of the PRC, Dr. Ishmael Aka, and copied to the Ghanaian Times in Accra yesterday. Dr. Aka indicated that the Commission was closely monitoring the situation and in full discussion with the service provider to address the issue. Do you know, yesterday I slept in darkness.
I slept in darkness 2 days ago.
I'll be speaking for you as I share my blunt
Please do.
Yeah.
Please do.
Yeah.
Today I passed by the district office when I was coming. I thought they would open early so I could do some. They didn't. I don't have, so I'm imagining that today, if everything stays the way they are, I'll still sleep in darkness.
And probably for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
It's
when I have money, I want to buy that thing. I'm not getting it.
It's not like it's your fault. It's not.
And even if you buy it, in some instances, even if you purchase it, it will not reflect. So, yes, that's another angle of the problem.
Charlie.
You can purchase it all right, but it will not reflect because of that glitch in the system.
Wow.
And when people complain, you're told, why are you being plaintive? Yeah. You have the economy being what it is in terms of inflation and everything. You have people like you who have to suffer sleep in darkness through no fault of yours. Someone's SIM, the person hasn't got his Ghana card through no fault of his, and he's suffering and SIM re-registration, and some of his calls are... Do you see the massive things in there? And then when some people vent on the president, though typically speaking, it's not the right thing to do, but they give vent, you say, why are they venting? Would you prefer that they explode in a very unfriendly manner?
Charlie, so please, PRC, if there's anything you would do, kindly help.
Do it ASAP.
Today I can sleep I can sleep with the light, because Charlie, if I have my TV on, it takes a lot of things away. But if there's no light, I'm there alone, thinking a lot of things.
It's okay. I saw another interesting story there that Stubborn Academy is going to and various telecom providers, network providers.
I didn't
the first one, what's page 16? The long queues return again, deadline today. Stubborn Academy, Monte, more hard.
Okay, so it says, with the deadline by the National Communications Authority for all subscriber identity modules, SIM, to be registered expiring today, queues are resurfaced at registration centers here in Accra. Look, why are we like this?
Why are we like this?
I think we cannot blame entirely us for what's happening, because some people do have their cards, but they are not able to, go through the process. Some too have registered, but they have not gotten their cards. But why do those who have gone to queue at the telecommunication centers are people with their cards, aren't they?
Yeah.
Why did they wait till today and yesterday?
It's a very last minute attitude, last minute thing that Ghanaians have. I even saw with the Global Citizen Festival, the tickets were free. Well, you had to earn them, but they were free, right? I mean, it was like 2 months. You had 2 months to get those tickets. But on the day, people are saying that, oh, how can I get the tickets? How can I get the tickets? How can you get the tickets? Because you've had 2 months to win these tickets, to earn these tickets.
But it also could be down to information dissemination. I do agree. Ghanaians are a very 11th hour, people, last minute. But
so if what they should do is that if you have data on the people who have their Ghana cards and have not registered, they are the people you go ahead to block if you want to go ahead. But if you, and then those who don't have their Ghana cards but have still not, that's not their fault. So you don't block them because they don't have the Ghana cards.
I think that's a lot of like technical work that we have seen that they are struggling with.
So
because they were even blocking people who had registered. So if you want them to now find out who has a Ghana card, who doesn't have a Ghana card, I think it's going to take a lot of work.
But if you want to be fair to the person who doesn't have the card and you block him, it is more fairer if you look out for people who have their Ghana card but have not registered to rather block them.
Right.
Than to block me who don't have my Ghana card.
That's an angle. So whether the reconciliation can be done with the telcos, these people, and then in the pool of Ghana card registered Ghanaians. Oh, this person, Asamisi has registered, but has not, gone through the SIM card registration, re-registration process. You can even find out what stage they are at, whether they've done up to maybe stage 1, or the person has not started at all. Oh, this person likely is simply evading the system or doesn't want to register. You could even call these people. I mean, there are systems rather than just get up and be setting deadlines that are
everybody
impractical. But folks, we have limited time. Let's make the most of what is left. The Daily Graphic this morning. Are you done with that paper, though?
Yeah, let's move on.
All right. So, combating crime. Security agencies need stronger collaboration. COP Adodankwa said so. There's also Akakpo, now Chancellor of KSTU. That is the Kumasi Technical University. Of course, Akakpo, former Defense Minister, brother to John Akakpo. There's also Jinapo expresses shock over devastation of Galamsey activities. I smiled a bit when I heard this one. Shock? Really, Mr. Minister? Shock. Anyway, I don't know whether you don't know what time it is, Mr.
Is that when you saw the devastation? It was.
Oh yeah, some are like craters, basically, huge craters, and I don't know how he can be shocked at that. I'm just being brutally frank. There's danger at Odoko traffic lights intersection, story on page 13. And addressing housing deficit, utilize pension law to own homes. NPRA encourages contributors. I'll do just that story alone from the Daily Graphic. So the NPRA has encouraged pension contributors to take full advantage of the Pensions Act 2008, Act 766, to secure mortgage for the acquisition of houses to help addressing the housing deficit in the country. This is because although the Act allows benefits accrued to be used to secure a mortgage for the acquisition of a primary residence, after a decade, it remains unutilized. The Deputy CEO of the authority, David Tete Abe, who made the call, explained that Section 103 and 144 of the Act provided for contributors to use accrued Tier 2 and 3 benefits, respectively, to secure mortgages. It goes on and on. Would that there were more facilities like this across the board for people to own homes. Our housing deficit is the words coming out not good, so I'll not use them, but it's deeply troubling. You see where people live, and it is just madness. We talk about open defecation. Look at, we've had laws in terms of community houses or compound houses having toilet facilities and all of that. They don't have them. What do you expect? I mean, we live in filth. People are forced to do all kinds of things, and we're happy with that. I don't know, but any reactions to that? Because
there are bylaws that, like you mentioned, these houses are supposed to have places of convenience, but till today, you go to even Metropolis, and then people don't have them. It was shocking about 2 years ago when there was a release. A research was done by an NGO, which indicated that in the Western Secondary Takra, the Metropolis, about how many? 70% of the households were without toilet facilities.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Wow.
70%.
And that's a major town. In fact, major twin cities.
Yes.
Imagine that. So if that is the case there, imagine the people in, I don't want to mention any place, so someone would say, but imagine the people in the typical rural communities. Imagine what is going on there. Imagine. I'll just wrap though. I was reading the story this dawn about a student of the University of Cape Coast who, and I saw a video, ghastly video. who has been killed by robbers, so to speak, stabbed. And there are some suspicions about students and all of that. Really, really sad incident.
Unfortunate.
It's something that I'll...
But Benjamin, what can we expect before we take a break for sports? What can we expect on Blunt Thoughts today?
So I've titled it of shady contracts, a broken economy, and Akufo-Addo being booed. Writings on the wall. Do you want to know what I have in store?
I do.
So right after sports,
That's
stay.
right.
I'll be firing right here.
Sawa Kojo Brace,
Hi.
thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I don't like this if you shade name. The way you look at Kojo and the way you look at me are different.
Stop.
What is that? What is that?
You see, if I wanted to paint you, I would have said, my love.
Ah, yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. But because I'm a very professional...
You not be fun till you go chop. Oh. Come to daddy. You not be fun till you go chop. This one, alone
Ask him, what does he have?
Don't mind him. Don't mind him.
But you've posed.
Oh, look at us. Look at us.
You've posed.
Oh.
You've posed a very serious question. Me, I'll come here. I'll work on that. And come back. I'll match you boot for boot.
That's right.
Anyway, sports is up next. Muftau Nabila Abdullahi has an exclusive with Faisal Chipsa. Remember? About 2 years ago, he applied for the role of the GFA technical director position. He was overlooked by the football governing body in the country. 2 years on, he has become FIFA's high performance specialist for Africa. And that means he has an oversight responsibility over how the game is managed in Ghana. Interesting times. But Muftau Nabila is up next with that wonderful interview.